Today I wanted to talk about downloads in Wix. There are multiple ways that you can have things be downloaded in Wix, and I wanted to kind of walk through some of the options. One of the problems that people ask is, well, how do I get it so that people can download files off of Wix and retain the file names? Images do not retain the file names if downloaded. I'm going to show you, but you can retain the file names in a gallery actually, but if it's just an image on a page, it's not going to retain the file name. So let's look at this gallery for a second. This is a grid gallery, a pro gallery. Let's go into the settings and you'll see up here Wix Pro Gallery. If I go into settings here, there is a download option. I can turn this on and then they can download images. This will actually retain the file name of that image. So if I come here and now I hit, well, let's just go to publish. And I'm going to go to this page here. Sorry, one second. I don't know what the URL is. Oops. Everything's running slow because I'm recording probably. Here we go. So to find the name of any file that you're working on or a page that you're working on, you can actually navigate to it in Wix and come over here to this SEO basics and go to URL. This will take you and open up that link to that URL. So here we are. So now if I click on this image, I'll see that there's a download option. If I download that, my download is going to be, and I don't know if I can show you this, but the downloads, it's going to retain that file name. So that's great because that's what we want. But if I were to right click on this and say save image as this image that's not in the gallery, and I'm not using that download option, then, oh, it does look like it is retaining it. Let's see here. And that's by right clicking. That's not really like an option for people, but just looking at it, the one thing I will say it does is it downloads it as a WebP file. These are a new way of compressing images for websites. So it's not a JPEG anymore. And these can be used in a lot of programs, but sometimes they're, if you don't have the right program to be able to open them, you may not be able to view them. So they're not really ideal, especially considering this is a JPEG. But if I use that download option in the Wix gallery, it does retain that JPEG file type and also the file name. So that's really good to know. Now, there's also the idea of uploading or having people download PDFs. So here's a button, for example. If I click on this, I can actually choose a PDF that I want to link to. So I went ahead and linked to a PDF here. And the way you do that is you just come in, you can upload your PDF to the back end here, and then you can download it. You want to choose document to download a PDF. This does not work with an image, although I will show you an image alternative, but again, it's going to download the WebP file, but I'll show you that in a second. So in this case, and I'll go to this page, when I click on this, it downloads the PDF. Now, at first you'll see an encrypted thing, but usually it resets and shows the actual file name. Oh, this is an INDD. Whoops, this isn't even a PDF. I guess I need to, that's weird that it has INDD. I don't think it was an INDD file. But let's save this to my desktop. And now you'll see, yeah, it isn't it. I don't know why it says that. But this is the name of that file that got downloaded. So that's cool. That's great. That's a newer feature in Wix. But the image is not. So let's look at the image option. So if I want this image to be downloaded, there's a couple ways to do it. You can link a button to it or you can link text to it, but you first have to get the URL to link it to. So you want to click on change image and find the image that you're wanting to link to. Unfortunately, it does not show you what image is selected currently for whatever reason. I'm hoping Wix will add that feature down the road. And then if you click on the little three dots here, you'll see a download and copy URL option. Download will allow you to download that file as is with the file name perfectly to your desktop. But of course, you can only do this from the back end. But if you ever want to download files, this is where you can do it. The copy URL is copying the URL of that file. So now I have that URL copied. You can also get it over here. You can look at the file info and copy URL here. So either way, it gets you to the same place. Now I'm going to close out of this. Now I'm going to link this image to that file. So I have to choose web address because that's the only one that lets me put in a URL. And then I can put in that URL. Now you'll see that this is one of those encrypted file names. But let's see how it works when it actually, when we do it. So I'm going to hit publish. I'm going to move this a little bit so I know I'm seeing the new version. And let's go to the front end, and I'm going to reload it. Okay, so it is. So now when I click on this, it downloads a file here. Now, if I were to save this, it downloads it to your browser, so it doesn't even download it to your desktop. But if I was to save it again, it's going to save it as a web PNG file, I'm pretty sure. So let's look here. Oh no, it is a JPEG, but it did encrypt the name. So Wix is very inconsistent with all of these things. But I just wanted to show you some options. If you really want somebody to be able to download an image and retain the file name, my recommendation is to use a Wix Pro Gallery. You can add those to any page over here under Gallery, and you can use Pro Galleries and choose one. You can also just have one image in a gallery, so you don't have to have a whole bunch of images if you just want one image. And then you want to go into the settings of that gallery and make sure to check on download. You can also check off some of these other options like hearts. That's just if somebody wanted to like it. Social sharing would allow them to share that image on social media. I won't go into that right now, but this is where they can download. This is the one way that you can get them to download that file. If you want to download a PDF file, that works well by using this document, using a button, or you can also link text. So like if I highlighted question here, I could link this to a document file. So any of these work, and they do retain those file names, but the images do not. So, and on that note of downloading images, let's go back into our media library. So you can go over here to media, or you can also click on an image and hit change media. Either way, you're getting to the same library. If I click here on media, I want to hit show more so I can see all of my files. And then if I want to select a whole bunch of files to download, you just can shift select to select a whole bunch, like just kind of go down the row. You can also hit command, which would allow you to select just certain ones. This is on a Mac, but you can play around with it. But this is how you can download a whole bunch of files. So I have all these selected, and now I can click on download. I think there is a limit because I've tried to select all and try to download them on some clients that have a lot of site or a lot of images, and it didn't work. But it does seem to work for 20, 30, 40 images. So if you want to download lots of images, and this does retain your file names, which is great. You can't download a folder, but you can go into the folder and then select all, which is Command A on a Mac, and download them this way. So just something to keep in mind. If you want to get images off your site, these are options. For the user end, use a gallery to have downloads, or use a button or a PDF, text if you want to link to a PDF. PDFs work a lot better. If you want to link an image to image to an image, basically, you can do that, but it's not going to retain, unfortunately, the file name, whereas a gallery will. So these are just some quick tips. This is the classic Wix editor, and this is how you can have options for downloading files on your site. One other thing to mention is the blog. So let's go here. Let's see. I want to go to my blog pages, and then I want to manage my blog. In the blog, there's also options. So I wanted to review those for downloading. So if you're using a blog, there's other options here too. I'm going to hit edit or create new post. And then once that loads, I can drop in an image here. add that to page, and then I can choose options to allow download, and that will allow them to download it. You can also add PDFs. So if you come over here to add again, you can, or files, you can click here and choose a PDF file, and then it will insert a, I'm hitting add to page here below the screen, but it'll insert this, and this actually does download it with that correct file name too. So just a couple options. If you want to do a gallery in here too, there is the gallery option, but they're not pro galleries necessarily, but they do allow for, you can come in here to settings and allow download again, and that will allow them. But yeah, downloading the files or images directly off your site with that file name is not possible in Wix. I think they do it to kind of protect the content and also encode it to make it smaller with that web D file. But anyway, that's my overview. Just wanted to show you a few options for downloading files on Wix.